Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
Yeah.
Aye.
It is true. Fearless Navy SEAL smokes a Taliban platoon. How many's in a platoon?
Is it just one? Or is that, what do you call it?
That wouldn't be. That'd be. He just takes out one Taliban guy,
don't
wouldn't
know.
he?
That's what
You
need
don't
to
know.
do. I don't know. I was in a platoon.
20,
Yeah.
something like that. But I
remember watching a movie called Platoon years ago.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
Platoon's
Viet-
like a group, isn't it?
Is it a
Yeah.
Vietnam movie, that?
I think it's a Vietnam movie, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have seen
Yeah, it
it.
was when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's just so one Navy SEAL in by the look of it.
We'll
These
check it out.
these
Yeah.
guys are fearless anyway.
I actually started listening to a podcast this morning with Mr. Ballin as the guest on it,
Oh, yeah.
because he was a Navy SEAL, wasn't
Yeah.
he? And I've not got very far into it, but at the beginning of the podcast, they teased the fact that he gets hit with a grenade at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Like someone threw one and it hit him in the shoulder, and then I think it blew his legs up or something.
Wow.
So it's going to be interesting
What
getting to
podcast
that
is that
point. It's called I want to say maybe the Golden Hour podcast or Happy Hour podcast. It's Golden Hour, I think. It's new to me. I've never seen it before, but it just came up in the feed.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
They've got 800,000 subs or whatever, so it's quite a big one.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, Fearless Navy SEAL smokes a Taliban platoon. Let's do it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I just want to let you guys know real quick that today's video is one I actually posted about 6 months ago, but it's a pretty intense story, and YouTube age restricted it and then removed it pretty quickly, so basically no one saw that video at all. When that happens, I typically just let the video kind of sit on my hard drive for a couple months, and then when I feel like the time is right, I like to re-upload it and give it another shot. So hopefully this video will stay up this time, but going ahead and watch it quickly just in case it gets removed again. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button. I've heard from other YouTubers that hitting the like button actually can help keep YouTube from age restricting and deleting videos and stuff. So if you guys want to hit that like button to help me out with that, that would be very much appreciated. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get on with it. November 9th, 2007, Afghanistan. United States Army Specialist Kyle White and his comrades were returning to Bella Outpost after meeting with some local village elders. As the soldiers traversed a narrow path surrounded by mountainous, rocky terrain, they were ambushed by enemy forces from elevated positions. Pinned against a steep mountain face, Specialist White and his fellow soldiers were completely exposed to enemy fire. Specialist White returned fire and was briefly knocked unconscious when a rocket-propelled grenade impacted near him. When he regained consciousness, another round impacted near him, embedding small pieces of shrapnel in his face. Shaking off his wounds, Specialist White noticed one of his comrades lying wounded nearby. Without hesitation, White exposed himself to enemy fire in order to reach the soldier and provide medical aid. After applying a tourniquet, Specialist White moved to an injured Marine, providing aid and comfort until the Marine unfortunately passed away due to his wounds. Specialist White then returned to the soldier and discovered that he had been wounded again. Applying his own belt as an additional tourniquet, Specialist White was able to stem the flow of blood and save the soldier's life. Noticing that his and the other soldiers' radios were inoperative, Specialist White exposed himself to enemy fire yet again in order to secure a radio from a deceased comrade. He then provided information and updates to friendly forces, allowing precision airstrikes to stifle the enemy's attacks, and ultimately permitting medical evacuation aircraft to rescue him, his fellow soldiers, Marines, and Afghan Army soldiers. Specialist Kyle White received the United States Medal of Honor for his incredible, selfless, and heroic actions that day. Kyle White, you are an absolute American hero, and it is a genuine honor to share your story here today. Thank you for your service. And that's the end of the first combat story I have for you guys today. We're going to move on into the second one now. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to help support the channel. But if you guys don't enjoy this video for any reason at all, feel free to hit that dislike button. Any and all feedback is greatly appreciated here, guys, so fire away. But with that, let's jump.
That first guy is an absolute beast, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, just a bit.
That
And
screams.
that's what you want in the military. You
Yeah.
want people like that.
It screams of like training,
Teamwork.
doesn't it? And it's all just gone wrong, and it's like, boom, just
Yeah, just
figure
automatic,
out-
isn't it? They don't just train for being on top. They train for sort of like when things go wrong, don't they? As well.
Yeah.
They've got to be done.
yeah, fair play to him.
Straight into this next story. October 2003 in Afghanistan, United States Navy SEAL Mark Donald was part of a multi-vehicle mounted patrol that was ambushed by extremely heavy fire from rocket-propelled grenades and small arms. When 2 rocket-propelled grenades exploded immediately in front of his vehicle, Lieutenant Donald exited the vehicle and began returning fire. While under heavy and continuous machine gun fire, he pulled the wounded Afghan commander to relative safety behind the vehicle's engine block. He left his position, completely exposing himself to small arms fire, and pulled a wounded American trapped behind the steering wheel to cover behind the vehicle. He covered the wounded with his own body while returning fire and providing care. In the process, multiple bullets passed through his clothing and equipment. Identifying wounded Afghan personnel in the 2 lead vehicles, Lieutenant Donald moved to their aid under heavy fire and began medical treatment. After treating the wounded, he took charge of an Afghan squad in disarray, deployed them to break the ambush, and continued to treat numerous critically injured personnel, while arranging for their prompt medical evacuation. That afternoon, while sweeping an area of earlier action, a U.S. and Afghan element was ambushed by a platoon-sized enemy force near Lieutenant Donald's position. Knowing personnel were gravely wounded, Lieutenant Donald, without hesitation and with complete disregard for his own safety, ran 200 meters between opposing forces, exposing himself to withering and continuous heavy machine gun and small arms fire to render medical treatment to 2 wounded personnel, 1 Afghan and 1 American. He placed himself between the casualties and the extremely heavy enemy fire now directed at him and began emergency medical treatment. Still under intense enemy fire, wounded by shrapnel, and knowingly within dangerously close range of attacking U.S. Army Apache helicopter rockets, he organized the surviving Afghan soldiers and led a 200-meter fighting withdrawal to friendly positions. Lieutenant Donald received the Navy Cross for his incredibly heroic actions that day. Lieutenant Mark Donald, it is an honor to share your story here today. Thank you for your service. And with that, guys, that is the end of the second story of the day. I've got one more combat story.
That footage that it showed, when I presume that was when the RPGs had hit in front, or maybe it was a different footage of an IED or something. I've sort of, obviously, having never been in that situation, you always kind of assume that people fan out, and like it's all activity and everyone. But a lot of the guys seem to be stood next to the armoured vehicle or whatever it was.
Maybe that's where the best cover was.
It probably is. It probably is. But to see a huge explosion in front of you, I think instinctively, like we'd all be like,
well,
if you're fanned out, then you become a big target, don't you?
Yeah.
If you're being fired upon.
I'm not saying I know better than them.
No,
I'm just saying, like, my instinct to be shit.
Yeah.
That blew up.
Yeah.
Got to get in a ditch or something.
It's on the road, you're expecting, all the way along the road, maybe something, things hitting it, aren't you? But
must be a terrifying situation to find yourself in.
I bet it is. Could you imagine?
For you guys today. So let's get straight into it. June 29th, 2008 in Afghanistan, United States Army Staff Sergeant Jack White's 19-man observation post was assaulted in the dead of night by a 105-man anti-Afghanistan force employing rocket-propelled grenades and coordinated small arms fire. As the attack commenced, Staff Sergeant White was awoken by a rocket-propelled grenade impacting less than 20 meters from his position. He immediately low-crawled out of the sleeping area in order to lead the observation post's defense. Maneuvering through heavy enemy fire, Staff Sergeant White quickly adjusted his men to repel the brunt of the attacking force. With no regard for his own safety, he worked his way from soldier to soldier in order to interlock all fires and mark targets, all while engaging and being engaged by the enemy. He ordered multiple danger-close fire missions through his forward observer and incorporated lethal mortar and artillery fire on the enemy elements. His leadership and fearless tactical maneuvering allowed his men to interdict all attacking forces attempting to overrun their position, ultimately leading the enemy to break contact and retreat. Staff Sergeant White received the Distinguished Service Cross for his actions that day. Staff Sergeant Jack White, it is an honor to share your story here today. Thank you so much for your service. You are an absolute hero. What a crazy freaking story, dude. Can you imagine getting woken up just middle of the night out of a dead sleep by like an RPG round landing wildly close to you? I feel like most people would probably have just crawled under their bed or in a corner as fast as they could, but he just got straight out of bed and went to work on defending that base. What an absolute stud. But with that, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. A bit of a shorter one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you need people like that in the army, like I say,
Absolutely.
or military. The people are just, they're not self-caring, they care for the team.
Yeah,
proper teamwork.
Yeah.
The thing is, no one's coming for you in that situation, are they? Like, if you just hid, you're going to get overrun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, these absolute professional guys are going to be like, right, where's the threat? Let's go and deal with it.
It's certainly sharpen the senses up, wouldn't it? Getting woken up at midnight or something, the RPG landing near you.
Take days to calm down after that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, can you imagine the adrenaline? Wow.
That terrain as well, when they showed the picture of him and it's just all snow-covered mountains and stuff. I don't know if that was the spot that they were attacked at, but it seemed like
Afghanistan, it probably guess it is, because there's a lot of places like that up there, wasn't there? But pretty brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the circumstances and that. So
that other footage they showed before that, we saw on one of these other videos. The guy on the rooftop where it looked like he'd maybe been shot.
Right, okay.
So that obviously
Stock
was
footage type thing.
Yeah. But
still, you get the gist of it, don't you? Yeah, these
terrifying.
Yeah, these guys are amazing.
yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.